Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
Yes, so the countdown begins on how Ooni of Ife plans to publicly reintroduce Queen Naomi soon as the royal seal is done. Well, as we are hearing, the said Kabiyesi, sat down with his supporters and thanked them so much, appreciated them for their unrelentless support, and, had a brief discussion with them on how he intends to reinstate Queen Naomi publicly, like it's going to be the feast of the century, like it's going to be like they have never seen. It will be far, far, far more than when she was married into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. And who cannot wait for that event to happen? I am here, and I know that my daily rights cannot even wait for that event to happen. Naomi has been through so much. Even Kabiyesi, we do know that because he is king and because he was the foundation of this wahala from the very beginning. Nobody seemed to be empathizing with him the way, we tend to be empathizing with Olori Naomi, but he has also been through so much daily rights. Yes, so daily rights, I'm going to use this opportunity to, give an amazing shout out to everyone, especially the channel members. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you have done. I want you to know that I am not taking your love, your support for granted. I would not be here without you, all of you, Daily Rights. I love you guys. I am grateful. I am so, 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 so grateful for everything that you have done for me and for your support, for all your prayers, for Queen Naomi, for your genuine love and concern towards this lady. May God bless you. May God raise people to support you and in your time of need. May people stand for you in your time of need. Thank you so much. They said that in a private courtyard of the Ooni of Ife's palace, just past the sacred grove beneath the palm trees, that only that Ooni of Ife only allowed selected royals and spiritual leaders to gather. That a quiet, powerful moment unfolded. The air was thick with the smell of frankincense and shea butter oil, the final celebratory rite for the divine acceptance of Queen Naomi. It's going to happen, but we don't know when that is going to happen. But Ooni of Ife has discussed it, that he cannot wait for this to happen. Iyanifa and other diviners have already listed the things that they will have to do. Not like going to the forest to pack this or pick that, but the things and how Kabiyesi should go about inviting the Obas that will come and do the sealing, right? And they said he gathered a small group of his trusted advisors, his inner circle, men and women who have stood by him through the silence, the delay, the betrayals, and finally the breakthrough. Among them were the key figures, his elders, royal advisor, the chief protocol officer, and the high priest of the ancestral wall, Yanifa, and all of them, okay? They and told them that the countdown has begun. As soon as the royal seal is completed, Naomi shall be reintroduced publicly, not as a returning wife, but as the one whom the gods brought back in spite of everything. This is not just a, re-entry. This is a recoronation in the spirit, and that is the way he intends to, go about bringing Queen Naomi back into his life. They said the announcement sent quiet smiles and nod around the circle, but then came the unexpected move as the guards slightly opened the inner gate to allow a few individual attendants into the courtyard. Ebony, of course, surfaced, okay? Like when she entered, the air shifted without missing a beat. The Ooni of Ife turned to her, gently raised his hands and signaled towards the outer corridor. It was a calm gesture, but one that meant more than word. He then stood up, walked towards her himself, and in the presence of his royal advisors and the high priestess, escorted, Ebony out of the courtyard. Yes, the same. He stood up, was walking towards her. But what happened was those priestesses that were there, they had to escort Ebony because they felt like Kabiyesi was offended. Now, one would want to ask, why would Kabiyesi do that? You know, he was having a very important discussion, and other wives, usually, when something like that is happening, or usually, you know how they flow with the Ooni of Ife. Ooni of Ife will have to invite them before they come. But this time, the way she came, it was almost as if she wanted to hear the next plan of action. And Kabiyesi has been very careful with the things happening because, of course, we are all aware of the things that have been done to Olori Naomi. We are aware that a lot of people don't want her there. And of course, everybody, even Kabiyesi, knows that one of the persons that would never ever want Olori Naomi into the palace is Ebony. So when he was having this discussion, he wasn't expecting any of them to be there. How did she surface there is what nobody knows. But the way Kabiyesi sent her out was very, very, even though very calm, but everybody understood that she was being asked to leave that place where they were having that discussion. And it was very, very embarrassing to Ebony. Meanwhile, one of the guards said, when she was about to go in, that he had told her that Kabiyesi would not want it. Because these days, Kabiyesi has been very, very apprehensive towards them over this full moon ritual, because he's aware that they have been uniting against the full moon ritual, uniting against Queen Naomi, doing everything within their power to truncate the full moon ritual. And so Kabiyesi did not give anybody chance, and that happens to be the reason why they were not allowed to be inside the palace while the full moon ritual took place. And a lot of people are saying that the reason why that full moon ritual succeeded was because these women were not allowed inside the palace. Now, if they were allowed inside the palace, they probably would have known the people who would be involved in certain things, and they would have, been proactive. Apparently, the reason why that thing did not happen on time was because it looks like they met the chiefs late. And apparently, they met the chiefs when the chiefs were in lodge right in the outskirts of Ile-Ife, because they didn't know the people who will be doing that last ceremony. That is what we heard that a lot of people are saying, or that's the speculation going on in Ile-Ife. So the fact that these women were not allowed inside the palace really helped. If not, the whole thing, all this whole arrangement would have just been all messed up. It wouldn't have been possible. Queen Naomi and the Ooni of Ife would never have succeeded, and this full moon ritual would have been a flop. Like it would have gone down the drain. Nothing would have happened. So now she came into the palace, and they were having this meeting, and she now entered to come and sit. Even though Kabiyesi did not invite her. And Kabiyesi felt like she wanted to hear the next step and all of that. And they said that was why Kabiyesi walked her out that way. Now, remember that the meeting Kabiyesi was having with his most trusted, supporters. Supporters that he knows that whatever they discuss there, they will not take it out. Those were the people involved. And most of the people who were involved in this ritual from the very beginning to the end were people that Kabiyesi trusted. A lot of people. They said that of all the people who started from the very beginning of everything, like 70% of them were removed. They just had like 30% of those people, the ones that Kabiyesi truly trusted, that they wanted him to reconcile with Olori Naomi. Those were the people that Kabiyesi carried along to that ritual ground, and they were there, they supported, they chanted, they were praising with kola nuts and everything until that full moon ritual was completed. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as facts.